At least they're doing that.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Red Valkyrie Presents. I'm, of course, Shae the Red, with some very interesting depth perception issues going on today. It'll be interesting. And of course, my co-host Cyborg Valkyrie. How you doing, Cy?
I am doing amazingly well, much better than last night.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
I'm trying so hard to like not move because so many things are trying to fall apart. So at some point, things are not going to stay on this cosplay. And we're just going to roll with it.
For those in the chat and for our lovely guest, we need to remind Shae as this stream goes on at periodic intervals and as often as you want that she has to pee but cannot move.
Thank you, Cy. I appreciate you.
You're welcome,
You're
babe.
such an asshole.
I am here for you.
I hate you so much. We are here obviously with a very good friend of the show, Mad Ruth, also known as Craig. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing excellent. I'm doing very well. Yeah, life's been great over this past year. Yeah.
So this is a super special event because as Mad Ruth has informed us several times, because we are terrible at keeping track of things, this is a year to the day that we had him on last time for the 1 through 3 of this.
The launch of SOLTAC. The very first.
Oh, that's
very
right.
First
it was
day.
the launch. Yeah. The very first day of SOLTAC. So, look at that. Full circle. A year later.
That is amazing.
It's exciting. Yeah, it's been an awesome journey. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and look, we get like the early read aheads because we help edit this shit, and yeah, I like this story a lot. This is really fun.
Count me too.
Yeah. And I mean, I've had so many people talk about the writing, and I keep telling them they have no idea how clunky, how discombobulated, how much dialogue gets trimmed and scrapped and cut down and removed from the book. Like, it's great. People always want to give their feedback, but if only they knew what it looked like before you edited it. So.
Well, that's the case with anything. When you very first are like, oh, I first drew this character, and he looked. Everybody likes how he looks now, but if you would have seen him before, he looked like he was wearing a trash bag. It was really horrible.
You ever seen someone take a rough diamond and actually cut it? There's so much less there.
Right.
Well, it's just what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Doctor Who Daleks, like season 1 versus like now. Because season 1, it was literally like, here's a trash can overturned in a plunger, and we spray painted them all silver. Like,
that's awesome.
Put a little person in there and have him
wandering around aimlessly, not very menacing at all.
No, don't get a midget dwarf. Get a child.
Oh yeah,
just punt labor. It.
We are now at 0 viewers, Cy. I want you to know that. I think that you.
No, they came back. They came back.
Oh, they did. All right. So before we get into
it's Mad
the
Ruth.
actual campaign,
Mad Ruth's the one in the chat.
Mad Ruth showed up. He was like, "I'll come back and watch the show." All right. Before we get to that, we have to do a cosplay reveal, Cy.
Yes, we do. And by the way,
before it all falls apart,
I think we have jinxed it by going early. I think that's what's up with the viewers. So here we go.
Well, it'll be fine.
Metamorphosis completed, sir.
Shae the Red
has now become
slightly more
awesome.
Thank you, Cy. I did a gender bend on your main character.
Awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. There's Dexter.
The skulls don't want to stay. the skulls are trying to jump ship.
Mhm.
That eyepiece is amazing, by the
Just
way.
like his spirits. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
exactly. You know
like,
what? In
I
fact,
want
I can't even
you-
take it anymore. So
I want you
They're
to
gone.
do that. I want you to do an eyepiece like that for me for the next con we do.
okay.
And then I won't even have to try to see out of my bad eye. I can just focus on the good
this
one.
is this has been interesting because anyone who's ever done prosthetics knows you have to put prosthetics on like well ahead of time, because they have to dry and you have to hold them and all that kind of stuff. And so I had to do this before I did any of my makeup. So I then had to do my makeup with one eye.
And you've
It's
been
really hard to draw
getting by with
straight line.
one eye.
It's so difficult.
See,
And it's not,
this
I don't
is-
even have like the cool, like he's got all the different bits so he can see and, you know, hone
so
in.
cool.
I don't even have that benefit. It's just black.
That's just it's like that's cardboard or something.
Yeah, it's not, it's foam, but
Very
it's wonderful. So for anyone who doesn't know what we're constantly talking about, we are talking about SOLTAC, and this is book 4 in the series, which is fucking awesome. So tell us a little bit about this, because
I like your
reading
picture at the top, by the way.
Yeah.
No,
The smile?
Yeah. You look
You
so
look so
That's
happy.
actually Randy. Actually, the picture was me not smiling, and Randy says, "I'll back your book, but I need you to change that picture, and I need you to put one of you smiling." So I've been making an
Nice.
Nice. Very nice. We appreciate it,
Smile
Randy.
under
That's
force.
hilarious.
Gotcha.
No. I am a cheerful
so-
person. Anyone who knows me.
That's very true. That's very true. Like, cheerful, but he also doesn't take no shit. So, you know, it's like,
Yeah.
just don't get on his bad side. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. So obviously we are here for SOLTAC Arise. Now you've got, and it's so funny because I helped edit this, and I even got lost in the naming conventions because I've always just been like SOLTAC, it's SOLTAC, and then you're like, yeah, this is Arise, and then the other one was, I was like, oh no, I don't remember what's what. So I'm gonna let you explain it.
Sure. So again, this is something I was in the military for 26 years, a couple tours in Afghanistan and Bosnia. It was something I would do for my decompression mentally. I'd go through, traumatic events and stuff like that. And you just need a place to escape. As you know, in the military, you have a lot of time to sit around with nothing but your thoughts to keep you company. So
About to
this
be
is
my reality thanks to Furlough.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna say. She's gonna be really acquainted with that in the next week.
right.
It's okay. I have Vampire Hunter D novels. I'm gonna take them in with me.
Oh my
Sit
god,
down and
those
read.
are those
Can't
are
do anything else.
Well,
Yeah,
I
most
mean-
of my reading spent at airports waiting to catch flights for sure.
Right? Like it's mostly on duty time because there's nothing else to do. So
I can
Anyway.
one up you. The time you spend sitting on a Greyhound bus traveling cross
yeah.
country.
Mhm.
we really should have packed you with a bunch of books for that. That would have been better.
Yeah. You know what? The PB&Js worked out great though, because those buses stop so infrequently at anywhere with any decent food. You're basically grabbing chips and jerky out of a 7-Eleven.
If it's open.
If
Not
it's
always open.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I love
Total
the
aside.
stops where you're at a closed McDonald's at like 2 a.m. It's like it's so close. Can I climb in there and make my own food?
The worst part is I first was taking those for like 12, 13 hours before I had a car, and I realized I could drive it in like 3. I was like, are you kidding me? Why is it so long?
I can take my own route. I don't have to wind through these shithole towns. I can stay on the freeway. Sorry, babe.
You're fine. Anyway, so this is your decompression.
Right. So again, I'm a big science fiction fan and science fiction reader. So people like read off like Philip C. Dick and Arthur C. Clarke. Like I read all the science fiction novels I could get my hands on, especially in my early teens and early 20s. But
You said
when-
tweens.
tweens. So I just kept building this and imagining if somebody gave me the opportunity to write my own science fiction story, what I would do. And I just incorporated everything I love, again, from science fiction movies as well. I mean, you'll see Planet of the Apes, The Borg, Escape from New York, Star Wars. You'll see all the influences of all kinds of science fiction. And anyone who's read SOLTAC, they'll say, hey, I see this in there and there. And they're absolutely right. I've incorporated a little bit of everything into making my own IP. So I imagine this, I could do this as 9 single issues. but as 3 trade paperbacks. So I first started this journey optimistic that I could just make 3 trade paperbacks, which would have been SOLTAC Betrayal is the first, SOLTAC Arise would be the second, and then SOLTAC Destiny will be the third. And each of those is 3 issues. So issue 1, 2, and 3 is what makes up SOLTAC Betrayal. And I said any money I raised, I would put back into making comics. I swore that. I said, I'm doing this because I want to get this story out of me. So luckily, I was able to raise $7,600. I now know what print costs are. I know how to produce books, publish, like all that stuff. I learned everything I possibly could in comics in the span of 3 years. So long story short, I can make one of these for about $6,000 each. I don't know. Did you get these, by the way? I keep asking if you got your books.
Yeah. So I don't know what the fuck has happened. I don't remember receiving them ever. And I don't know why. So I have to go through my comics collection for our channelversary and find the stuff that I have duplicates of that we're going to do giveaways with. Okay. If I don't find them then, I will let you know.
Okay, because I'll just do up a package for you and send it myself. So
yeah, it's so like I don't know what happened, but you keep asking, and I see the covers, and I'm like, I don't remember getting these. Like I don't remember seeing them.
We have to.
And I don't remember her telling me either, because generally when we do things like backing projects, Shae, the one with the decent income, tends to back twice. And so then she will make a point of informing me, especially, I mean, she's going to inform me about a project that we worked on together that we got the books for. So
yeah, exactly. So
and she didn't say anything.
We'll double check.
It's no worries. I'll just send you another one anyway. It's cool. It'll be there.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. That's awesome. Seriously,
you're credited in every one of these. Like your name is editor.
I know.
In every
Hold
one
on.
Of them,
Wait. Let's see.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Zoom in.
Right there.
Zoom in. Enhance. It says Red Valkyrie TM. That's what it says, everybody, if you can't read it. Okay.
Ooh, I just got a tingle. In an appropriate place.
I mean, so the thing that's cool is like a lot of people don't seem to realize that we edit books, but the books that we've gotten to edit, we have loved so much. It's been so much fun to help work on.
That's the wrong way to phrase that. Not too many people know we edit books. How about
a lot of people don't? A lot of people don't realize it.
We edit books, but a lot of people don't stop to look at the credits. Therefore, I mean, you got to put the positive spin on it, Miss Marketing Major.
The positive spin on it is we're fucking good at our jobs because you don't even notice that we've done it because the book is awesome. Right. So ha!
Yeah, when Jason doesn't fat finger your edit and then send it to the publisher.
Look, okay, we don't got to talk about it. It was there was mistakes made on both sides. It's happened. We're good.
Send it to him read only from now on. He won't figure out how to turn that off.
It's fantastic.
Sorry.
I don't even know where we were. We're talking about these awesome books is what we were doing.
So like I said, I was able to raise $7,600, and that went right back into making Floppy 4. And even Luke's like, you should start a whole new campaign. You should close the campaign. And I didn't want to bother. It's like, no, I got enough money. I can make issue 4. My artist is hungry to do it. I don't want to do the whole workup. And I'm horrible for this. I admit, I know better. But so I rolled my Fund My Comic campaign, which started in March only of this year. And then I just rolled it into issue 4. And then I ceased making the graphic novel versions. I mean, look, all this in a year. It's incredible. So I stopped making these, the thicker trade paperback, and I've just switched over to single issues now.
Shae, did we get the trade paperback either?
Oh, sweetie, no. I have no idea.
It would have been in the same bundle. So it's okay. I'm going to resend them all. I'll give you the tracking number. It'll be done this week.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll figure out what happened to him one day, I'm sure.
Yeah. So again, me and Gonzalo have just been working pretty much since I put this over on Fund My Comic in March, and we're officially halfway through the 32-page issue 4 now. So you're seeing the first 8 pages here, and I just got back the next 8 pages colored. They're amazing. So yeah, we're just gonna keep going till March, and then fulfill this one, and then take a bit of a break and concentrate on my YouTube, which is for fellow creators as well. The Friday nights, I'm every night at 9 p.m. But long story short, if you're a creator and you've got a Friday evening, just reach out to me in DM, and we'll spend an hour and a half laughing. So.
And then you guys can come hang out with us on Regen.
Yes. Yes.
See, it's like everybody wins.
Mhm.
No, so I love your character development. That's one of the
Thank-
things that I really like about this is because you have some things that are kind of like tropes, which is, there's a reason that tropes are tropes, is because that's what sets that genre apart from other things. That's what kind of endears it to everybody. That's what makes you really kind of connect with the characters, because it's something that normally happens. But then you also break a lot of tropes where I'm expecting it to go one way and then something just totally flips on its head and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. Like, I guess I don't understand anything about what's happening. And one of my favorite characters that we got a tiny glimpse of before is this gorilla dude who is he's kind of an asshole, and I fucking
No, wait,
love it.
what is he? He's not a gorilla. He has the fat face. Is that an orangutan?
Orangutan. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
See,
Orangutan.
you say it like I try not to say it, but that I said it as a kid with the G at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Orangutan.
Orangutan.
Yes.
Orangutan.
Orangutan.
Yeah, again, one of my favorite. Again,
like
that was like my Planet of the Apes, because and I got to incorporate more of this wildlife concept of these genetically modified creatures that we've made, self-aware and conscious, and they're all throughout the solar system. And
the sidekicks. The
Yes.
sidekicks. Yeah. I remember
Did you
now.
forget about him?
I mean, we've worked on other projects since this, babe. I kind of
know, it's true. Trying to keep all the stories straight. I'm like, this seems familiar, and then I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this. Okay.
Yeah.
But no, this character is so much fun because he's so reluctant to be a part of any of this, and I remember he's like, hey, I need your help, and he's like, yeah, go fuck yourself. Like, no, thank you.
Isn't he like, don't you still owe me money from last time? Or something like that?
Pretty much. He's like, bitch, do you remember the last time we got together and all this other shit happened? And I'm pretty sure I said, don't ever fucking talk to me again. And now here you are. You think that this is all cool? Like, we're not cool.
And
Go
now
away.
I'm in the armpit of South America, thanks to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's actually what this begins with. It's the flashback to what broke up their friendship. That's how this book starts.
Nice.
Oh, you get to see the girl fight that happened.
Right.
Oh my gosh. No, this is it's just such a fun genre, and like I'm not a huge sci-fi nut. Like that's all sci. I don't read a lot of sci-fi.
If I can interject here, Shae got the script and opened it first, and the second she opens it, she starts reading and she's like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Okay, let me take a look here."
Yeah,
it worked out great. It worked out great.
Did.
Just the thing, and here's the funny part: oftentimes you have one editor, and they'll be generally a good editor, or they'll have like one specialty. With Shae and I both editing books as a team, she has her strong points, and I have my strong points. And I've read sci-fi. I've read hard sci-fi. I've been a sci-fi fan all my life since I was 4 years old. I was watching sci-fi on TV. So. That's my focus and my background and my interest. So I can dig through that technical shit and Shae
well,
can
the
do
technical shit. There was so much of it.
Shae can do the heavy lifting on the character interactions, which I might not catch. So
Yeah, a lot of people have said those first 6 pages were the hardest to get through, and that was the leftover from 2015 when I was first writing this as a novel. So I mean, I had this first chapter, and I mean, you as a writer is like, I should just throw this in the garbage and start from scratch. But those 6 pages were just me taking what was still of value out of that first script, and then once I got that out of the way, then the story actually kicks in. So it's almost like it should have a disclaimer, like make it through the first 6 pages and you'll be okay. Yeah,
Like I promise. Page 7 is good. Just keep going. Just keep going. It'll get better.
We whittled hard at explaining the political makeup of this universe, and
Yeah, we did.
trying to make that succinct.
But that's the thing, and I think that that's one of those. I'm super into action, so I'm into the action and the mystery and the horror. Like that's my strong suit. Sai's strong suit is sci-fi, and so when we first were reading this, and I was like, okay, is this sci-fi? Like, is this just what sci-fi does? And Sai was like, yeah. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. It needs to do it less because this is why I don't watch Star Trek.
And I'm like,
This kind of
first
shit.
of all, you say Star
World
Trek.
building. Yeah. The
Star
sandbox.
Trek, sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you. But once we got to the chase on the hover vehicles and jumping from one to the other and all that, Shae was all in.
Yeah.
Well, that's what makes this so much fun is because I don't, like I said, I don't normally go in for the sci-fi, the high tech, the spaceships and weird aliens from other planets. Like that's not typically my jam. But this has that piece. It has action. It has like a lot of intrigue, and there's a lot. Look, in this series, there's a lot of like double talk and backstabbing that is like 100% you should read, because I remember reading them, and I was reading it out like sitting near Sai, and all of a sudden I'd be like, what the fuck? Stuff like, what just happened? I was like, oh no, when you get there, but like, what the hell, man? And so like going through and like, damn, this is actually impactful. I had to stop myself from just reading the script and go back to like, oh, I'm supposed to be editing this. Like, hold on. And I have to go back a couple pages. Like, when did I stop editing and just got caught up in the action? Because you write them really well, and it's a fun journey to go through.
Thank you. Yeah. So and that's awesome feedback. That's the same feedback I keep getting, which gets me excited that people actually are enjoying SOLTAC. So one of my co-hosts, Chris Faction, he said the same thing. I made him late for work. He started reading the book and he was looking for a break and he couldn't find a break. And next thing you know, he was late. I was like, perfect. That's what I wanted.
There's not a break. Don't, if you have places to be, don't start reading this. Because even when you get to the end of like the first, like, floppy, you're going to be like, what happens? You got to keep reading. Like we got to the end of this and I was like, so when are you writing 4, 5, and 6? Because like it's a cliffhanger and I don't appreciate that. I really want to know what happens next, Craig, and it's just rude. How dare you? He's just like, I'm working on it. I'm like, okay, well, like work faster because I really want to know.
Well, we're here now. I'm halfway, so 4 more months.
Yes.
The next one done. Yeah.
Then I will read this script and then I will be like, when the fuck is book 5? Like I'm just gonna keep on being like, son of a bitch, write faster. But no,
just send it to us as a novel. The art will come later.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm gonna take a year. I gotta just flesh out 5 and 6 because there's a lot of moving pieces, and I can't just do it page by page like I'm getting away with for issue 4. I actually got to lay the whole thing out and then make sure everything's lined up.
which is smart because you have set so many different, and again, this is like another thing that I'm noticing in a lot of sci-fi storytelling that isn't as prevalent in other storytellings, is there's so many different paths that you can hint to and you can like set in motion and then abandon for like 3 or 4 issues, and then you come back and you're like, yeah, you remember this thing from issue 1? Yeah, we're gonna actually follow it now. And it like you set so many different things in motion that I was like, are you sure you want to do all of this? Because that feels like it's going to be difficult to track. You're like, no, it's good. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. I'm going to need like a string board to keep all this shit straight, but it'll be fine. Like, we'll get there.
That's part of the Mad Ruth thing that I got going on. I've got that board, all the crazy string conspiracy theories going on.
It's the Mad of the Mad Ruth.
Right.
But like it's so much fun, and your artist meshes really well with your storytelling.
Yes.
So you've got a lot of dynamic panels. You've got a lot of really bright colors, which I appreciate as somebody who gets distracted very easily. I like bright colors. They keep me engaged.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's one of the old philosophies too. I was a big Image fan in the 90s, and was making comics that felt like you were in a candy store where everything was bright and fluid and the pages complement each other. Like it's art. I mean, these are high quality art books and people are paying that extra money for you to put that extra effort in what you're presenting. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. And we're so close to our first stretch goal now. It's another trading card. Now I'm going to the villain trading cards, and I'm like $300 away from unlocking that for every backer.
Nice.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh,
Hey,
also throwing
We
this
should
out
sign
there.
these as the editors, by the way.
Stop it, Sai. No, we
No,
shouldn't.
I will not stop. We were at a con and we volunteered, so we were working autograph lines, keeping them organized, and night clubbing people.
Nice.
I'm sorry, night sticking people.
Knife handing is what I was doing.
I got kicked out of. I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know if you knew about all that. I got kicked out of all my local ones. I'm no longer invited.
Really?
Wow. Right. Interesting.
Yeah. Can you tell me why? We don't like the people you hang out with. Yeah, but okay. But did I do anything wrong? No,
You're
no.
like,
We
okay.
don't. No. Yeah. Okay.
I love
now
guilt by association.
Yeah. But now I just go to night markets and city markets and craft things, and I do very well there. People they pick up these books and they love them. So
You know what you
Well,
do?
and
Just cosplay, and then they won't recognize you.
I think it's because it's such a novel thing too, especially when you go to like a craft fair or something like that, and people are like seeing pine cones with googly eyes and like stupid shit like that, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I have an entire graphic novel that I created, and people are like, oh,
comic artist, yeah.
I could get like a real thing that I could gift to somebody. That sounds fantastic. And it's not going to cost me $300 for a handmade quilt. Like, yeah, let's do that. That's a better gift. It's way cheaper.
all the other craft booths give me stink eye, and I'm just like,
I mean, let's. I've been to craft fairs. They will just give you stink eye no matter what you do. Like you are active competition. Period. People think crafters are like sweet old grandmas that are just like knitting for fun. Like they're fucking brutal. They are ruthless women, and they're cutthroat, and they're scary. I don't like them. I don't.
Oh, is this like when you fought with that woman at the craft store?
Huh? What?
When you went to buy some fabric and she was like eyeballing your fabric, and you don't remember this?
I don't know.
It was like at a Joann's or something like that.
Oh no, I do remember this. Yeah, I had to keep the bolt under my arm because if I set it down, she was gonna snatch it. She was like, "Oh yeah, I was looking for something like that," and I was like, "This is the last bolt."
You're gonna eat
like,
that
"Oh,
cornbread.
She's like, how much of that are you gonna use?" And I was like,
Oh.
all of it. And she's like, okay.
You need a shank. You need to go to the.
Yeah.
Like for real, it's look, they're scary. Okay, like, craft women are cutthroat.
Don't get between a chick and her Etsy store. Just
Holy shit, no. The fucking hell. Because you realize every time they post something on Etsy, they have to pay a fee. So they're already in the hole when they start an Etsy listing. They're already like, I have to make this money back, and so they're just fucking psycho.
I did not realize that, actually.
Yeah, every time you list something, so every time you sell something, Etsy takes a cut, and for everything that you list on your store, you have to pay an Etsy fee. This is why you don't do Etsy, people.
That's crazy.
That's the way everything's going too, though. Like I'm noticing now, all the algorithms, Facebook, X, all them, they don't like to show when you have links attached. They're suppressing your reach.
Yep.
It's not like it was a couple years ago. So.
Yeah, it's changing everywhere. Look at good stuff. He says that's why I carry around nunchucks. Old ladies are brutal. That's fucking true, man.
Kneecap.
It is
Get
true.
on the knees.
They're so scary.
And you know what? What you just said is very, very true. And they even talked about this. Any link that's going to take you off the platform does not get hyped as much as what you're doing on the platform.
Which is, you want to know how dumb this is? Because in all honesty, as a person who is creating a website, you can write it into your algorithm and into your code that anyone like clicking a link will open a new tab or a new window. Like you can set that. So they aren't actually leaving your site. They're just opening a new tab to see something, and then they can come right back to where they were. And in fact, I would recommend people do that because it's so much nicer for the person, for like the user. But I digress. Like they're just, people are dumb.
you don't want to discourage traffic. I don't think they realize that, right? You're stepping over dollars to pick up nickels. Like,
Exactly. And it's all because you're like, oh, but if they leave our website, then they'll never come back. And it's like, or they'll remember. It's like, it reminds me of like Pinterest. Like Pinterest is literally an app that just has links to other sites. Like
right.
that's all Pinterest is. It links you to TikTok and to Google image searches and YouTube and blogs and all that shit. Like that's the whole point of Pinterest, and is one of the best places to market if you can figure out the algorithm, because they don't worry about, well, you're going to click this and you'll be off of our app, or like off of the main Pinterest site. Like, yeah, but then you hit back twice and you're back.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Fantastic. Anyway, I digress. Look, we're getting into my marketing major. I haven't been in school for like 2 months because of TA running out. So,
well, the important thing is to try new things. I mean, there's too many people who
is.
pigeonhole and they've only one way and one vision, and then when that doesn't work, they don't have anything else because they haven't thought of any other ideas, and then they crash and burn. So.
Absolutely. And in all honesty, the people that make it as entrepreneurs or as self-made people with their own businesses and their own products, which, I mean, if you're going for indie comics, you are your own business.
That's
like
right.
that is what you are doing. A lot of people don't treat it that way because, you know, whatever, like I'm doing this for fun, and you know, that's great. And if that's what you want to do, fine. But if you're setting something up as your own business, the people that end up being successful in that are the people that have so much tenacity that they don't stop trying new things. They're always looking for something new. They're always looking for a new audience. They're always looking for other places that they can go and things that they can do. And they are persistent. So if somebody tells them no, it's no for now. It's not
right.
no. It's never no. It's no for now.
Right.
And then you retool and see if you can turn that no into a yes at some point. And that's what gets people to be successful. So if you're not in for that, don't expect to be successful in indie comics, because it's really, you got to hustle every day. It's exhausting. Like you've got to put in the work. So.
And not be so emotionally invested. Like you see people that lose it if they don't reach their goals, or they'll
Right.
DM someone and then someone doesn't get back to them. I mean, I DM all kinds of people. They don't get back to me. Whatever. I'm off DMing someone else. Whatever.
Dude,
you know.
How many times have you DM'd me and then I've gotten ADHD? Like, I thought I responded to you, and you'd be like, well, I'll just message Sai because Shae apparently isn't talking to me now. Then I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. No, I thought I responded like 6 months ago.
Here's the problem, and this happens to me in real life. You will think out your response, decide that it's a good response, and then never actually respond.
And then assume that because you thought it, you have actually expressed it to the individual it was intended for. And you've moved on.
This is why we just need to invent real cybernetics, so we can interface our brains.
Yeah, like a Terminator with a list of things that you need to accomplish, right? Yeah.
Do you know how bad that would be, though? Because
or to be able to just think about your response and it sends.
I have really severe ADHD. That, like, people don't want this brain to just send shit to them.
It would be so entertaining. It
really would.
It would be a dumpster fire, and I would love it.
That is true. As somebody who's had to follow my train of thought, Sai understands. It's really bad. It's really bad. If you're ever messaging me and I don't respond, unless I've responded and told you that I'm not interested in something, like, message me again. If I haven't said anything to you after you DM'd me for like a couple of days, it's because I thought I responded to you and waiting for you to respond to me. So just like ping me again, so I remember that I haven't done anything.
I'm the same way. I'm like a squirrel, so you know, I go one way and then I think of something else and I run down another trail and I eventually get back to what it was. Literally, I am mad with the board and the strings and stuff. So no, I've never, I never take any offense steady when it doesn't get back to me. So I'll get back there again. Hey, it's been a month or so. I messaged you. Yeah, I didn't.
Poke. It's like, oh yeah, no, still haven't done it. Sorry.
Well, we're all busy. We're all doing our own things. We have our own interests.
Right.
We have our own things going on. Of course.
Absolutely. We have a ton of awesome people in the chat too. I'm just gonna say this real quick because we got people that we haven't seen in a minute, and I'm gonna attribute that to the fact that we got Mad Ruth on. So we got good stuff. Wonderful to see you, love.
He did my trailer.
So yeah, we got Silver. Hi, Silver. Nice
Okay,
to have a
so
member around.
now we know who to blame if we get a copyright hit from your trailer.
Yeah, good stuff. If I get a copyright claim, I'm coming after you with the aforementioned nunchucks for the kneecapping. It's happening.
Yeah.
We have the beautiful Fanta. Hello, love. It's wonderful to see you. We got Doc. I can't read this because my eye.
Blaylock.
Blaylock. Sorry, it's literally like I'm literally like shadowing letters right now. I'm having a hard time focusing.
Awesome.
Hi,
awesome
Doc. It's
cosplay.
wonderful to see you.
I'm scrolling up.
We have Chris.
Yes.
What's up?
Chris Fashion.
Good to see you.
Yep. Still
And did
scrolling.
you get Caleb?
Got it.
Caleb Reynolds. Hello.
Oh,
It's wonderful to
there,
see you
that's
guys.
better.
Looking good. I love it.
Still
Fantastic.
scrolling. Oh, who's this guy? Ban him.
I don't know. That one's weird.
Yes.
I love Good Stuff's response. It's copyright free, I swear.
Mhm.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Just because it's posted on someone's YouTube channel doesn't mean it's copyright free. They're like, hey, check out this song I made for $90. You can listen to it here for free, but no, we get that shit all the time. Mad Ruth.
No. Okay, are you back?
Oh, he's
Am I roboting? Okay, good. Woo.
No,
Yeah,
you froze in this world for a while.
You swirled on us. It was very rude.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah, it's sorry, it's not my. I live east of Maine. I live out in the sticks, so like I'm in the middle of just trees. If you ever fly out here, it's 20 minutes of nothing but trees till you get it. So I apologize for my internet.
that is awesome. That sounds like a dream. Like right now, that's where I would like to go. I don't want to have neighbors, and I don't want like people to bother me. I just want to be away from everybody as long as I have good internet.
Yes.
All I care about. Okay, so you are on Fund My Comic, which is super great, and you've got a couple of rewards. So let's go through, and so people know what they can get.
Okay. So for starters, it's just the single issues. I split them all apart. So again, the entire Betrayal story arc is in 3 separate issues: issue 1, issue 2, and issue 3. And some people just want the first book, and they're like, nope, that'll make me decide if I want the rest. So that's available for $8 plus shipping. Each of those separated. And you see, you get a couple backers who, yeah, that's perfect. And then so that's the same as the graphic novel, that issue 1, 2, and 3. So issue 4 is the one I'm working on right now. That's why the price is a little more, because not only are you helping me, not only are you purchasing the book, but you're helping me to accomplish the book, create the book, and print the book, right? So that's why that one's a little bit more for $12. And that's issue 4 that's currently in progress, and it'll be done by March. So, and this would be my reward tier. There eventually with Fund My Comic. So I don't know if I mentioned this. I was the second campaign on Fund My Comic, and for most
You
part,
were really early. I remember.
Yep. And I've also been the guinea pig for the site. So a lot of times when
Nice.
Luke wants to try new things. Hey, you interested in this? And I said, yeah, let's do it. Let's try it. So trying to get all the bugs out of the system, trying to get it going. So 2 things that this would have been my reward tier right here, because it's all 4 issues. That's 128 pages for $30. And that would be the complete story up until March, issue 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's basically my reward tier, if I would call it that.
Yeah,
So,
that's a good bundle.
yeah. And then, of course, because I'm with Arrow and Arrow Comics, we all try to promote each other. So we still have these Arrow bundles, Arrow Bundle 1 and Arrow Bundle 2, which has all the other campaigns within Arrow Comics. So for this bundle here, you get The Fool, you get SOLTAC issue 1, HeroBot 0, Revolt, Hybrids issue 2, and then Chrome Dog issue 1. So
Very cool.
and another bundle. Yeah, this one's got Rift Riders in there. It's got Only Death Can Save Us in there, Hybrids issue 1, and Sin Killer as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, good stuff.
HeroBot 0, Paragon, and Calico.
Yes.
So you can get a lot of really good quality books in condensed form and help support a whole bunch of indie artists all at once. But also just make sure, if you've missed out on SOLTAC, get this bundle. This is the bundle you want, because I promise it's a really good story. Even if you're not super into sci-fi. Like I am not. And this is a really fun story. There's a lot of it's converting me slowly. It's making me like, okay, well, maybe I can get into this like sci-fi space bullshit a little bit better. And you know, between that and sci that is making me kind of get more into it. But it's a really good intro for a lot of people because there's enough of the sci-fi tropes for you to kind of be familiar with what's going on, but it's not so hit you over the head with everything.
It's still got to be a hero's journey. It's got to be exciting. It's got to be a page turner. I mean, these are all things I was taught and I read. Like you want the reader to want to keep going, and everything was done to achieve that effect. Yeah.
Absolutely, and it's really it's just really fun to see like the way that you've designed a lot of these characters and the way that they interact, and so it does feel a little bit like Blade Runner, you know, where you've got like the whole story of Blade Runner, it just happens to take place in like a high-tech world, but the story of Blade Runner is really just normal.
Yep.
Oh, Silver, you did it. I was waiting. What is up, Crooked Painter? And I agree, SOLTAC is a dope book. It is really, really good. This is something that everybody should definitely get in on.
Thank you so much.
This
We're not biased at all.
Look, we work on good projects.
Mm-hmm.
When we get projects that people want us to work on that we don't believe in, we respectfully decline.
We 99 times out of 100 decline. Sometimes we get sucked into a project that we thought was going to be good that turned out not good.
Yeah, but I know which one you're talking about.
Then we just don't go back.
Once we realized that there was no saving it, then we respectfully declined. It started good. It's got a little iffy. But no, this is a really fun campaign for sure. So this is set to...
I think it's better. Like that first book was all character introductions. So the hardest part was to tell an exciting story, an adventurous story, accomplish everything I wanted to accomplish, and throw character introductions into the middle of it and make the reader identify with each of the characters and want to become a part of them in their journey. But yeah, now I don't have to do that anymore. Now I could just throw the story in there.
Now it's just story.
Yes.
Awesome. So you said that this is going to fulfill in March is when you're shooting for?
It's going to take us 4 more months to finish the line art. So again, I've given you the first half, if like whenever you have time, and I get it, we all don't have time, but even if we don't have to wait, we have another 4 months until you have all the line art pages. So we got time. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, so this is definitely a good book to get in on. Are you just going to basically keep it up as a storefront up until you go to print, or is it coming down at some point?
So part of me, the reason why I did this whole blending of all the campaigns and not ever shutting off a campaign, I desperately wanted to hit that 10,000 figure just as a personal achievement to say, hey, I did it and I accomplished the 5-figure. So I'm just going to keep it open until March. I'm still, I'm the optimist in me. I'm so close. But once I do fulfill it in March, there will be a point where SOLTAC does come down because I've got to completely disconnect before issue 5 and then relaunch perhaps in a year. Like we'll see. But at issue 5 it's kind of a scary one for me because that's the first legit crowdfunder. So
you know what? It'll be great, and you've got a lot of really good connections and people that can help you out. And if you show something to me and Sai will give you very blunt feedback on whether it's good or not. Right. If anybody ever hires us to be editors and they can't take us being very blunt, like you don't want to hire us as editors, we will tell you flat out if something sucks.
I think I remember that too when we were first doing it. It's like I was trying to justify my thought decisions, and I think it was Side was like, "Yeah, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you suggestions and ideas. Go with them or not." Yeah. I was like, "Okay, yeah, got it. Okay, we're on the same page. I don't have to explain every little trope, like you said, or insight, or a little military humor. That's for anybody who knows me. Like they would, hey, I remember that because they could situate the joke. But yeah, so.
Well, and that's the thing is understanding that editors really just they're giving you input on what they think should change in order for the story and the pacing to remain good. So they are a second and third set of eyes on your book. You are still the writer. So the reason that the writer is credited as the writer is because, and the editors are the editors, is because editors are giving you suggestions. It's up to the writer to decide what you're going to change and what you're not.
But I'm really excited to get those books to you, because I wanted you inside to see how much of your editing is actually in these books, because you will recognize when you start reading, oh, that was my line, that was my suggestion, because I kept about 90% of what you and Cy said to do ended up in the book. So.
That is awesome. And I mean, it's so much fun to be a part of these kinds of stories, just because they're so involved and there's so much that is going on with them and so many different paths that they could go down. So it's really fun to sit with somebody and talk it through and say, all right, what are you trying to accomplish? Like, this might be a better way to do that. Oh, if you're trying to do that, now I understand this line, but let's go ahead and say this in the beginning, because then that'll help everyone.
The big one that stood out for me with you as well was the Emperor. When I went in this tangent of the Emperor being mad, and he's like, he's got Dexter in one hand and he's got his daughter on the other, and he's like, yelling at her because, of her not doing what she's supposed to tell him, and he drags him in. And like, yeah, this was, does he love his daughter or is he a psychopath? I don't know if you remember all that. And you're like, okay, this doesn't fit, because this doesn't make sense at all. Now it's almost like he's mocking and spiting and belittling his daughter. Ooh, yeah, you're right. I got to reel that back a little bit. And I just remember, like, you took all those thoughts and organized them in such a logical way that pushed the story and elevated the action and made it make sense and have the impact that it needed to have. So yeah.
So happy. I love getting that kind of feedback for our edits, and I love that it helps make you able to tell the story you want to tell.
Right.
The thing I really love, whether the edits survive the final pass or not, the thing that I really appreciate, whether the writer turns around and finds another way to solve it other than the suggestions we make, is that we help sharpen that story to the best point that we possibly could. And the fact that some edits survived, whether it's 90% or 25%, the fact that something of us is in there means that we were able to help. And
exactly.
That's what's really gratifying for me, because I've read stories that people have written, not published people, just on the fanfic. I've read fanfic for years, and I've done my best over the course of many years to kind of try to steer people down paths towards telling more compelling, more thought out, more fluid, and frankly more cohesive stories. And it's really gratifying when you see those stories actually succeed. So that's what other than the money, that's what I get out of it.
Well, and that's the thing, is this is it's just so much fun to see other people's thought process and their creative process and be able to help, because I've been the writer that gets lost in their own dialogue, and I'm like, I want to say this thing, but I can't fucking figure out how to say it, and it just everything sounds bad, and then someone's like, why don't you say this? And you go, oh, well, fuck, where were you 2 weeks ago? Like, shit, yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Thank you. I'm stealing it and like putting it in there.
A lot of your suggestions, like, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
Glaringly obvious. Like, oh my goodness, yeah, very much so. But you need that second set of eyes, because you just don't see it yourself. Yeah.
And you get so caught up in your own world, and you've worked and reworked these lines so many times that at some point you're just like, it doesn't make sense anymore. Like, this isn't even English. Like, I don't know. I can't edit it anymore because I don't know what's happening. Like, my brain is mush.
Right.
So that's what I love, being able to hear another person's creative process and be like, oh, I think this might be a little bit more impactful. And then they're like, oh shit. And I'm like, yes, yay, I helped. Good. Okay. It's like, I'm going to go sit back in my corner now. Like, I did a thing.
We even did one where the dialogue, because the way I wrote the story, but the way the panels were, you even completely reorganized the bubbles under the previous page. Like, we sort of like take this entire conversation, because it's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But to make it hit right, move this one, like it was a game of Jenga, move this one up here, move this one down here, move this one down.
I remember when she was doing that, she
yeah.
kept moving it and telling me, hey, does this make more sense? And then, okay, hold on a second. Okay, does it make more sense here? And I'm like, yes, it makes more sense here.
Better, more sense.
Yes.
Because every time I read it, and I was like, why is it still hitting my ear weird? And then I'd like read it again. It's like, wait, what if it's, oh, that's the way that we talk. That's right. That's how humans speak.
And
Like,
that's another good
punches
thing
aren't in the
about
right
having
place. Yeah.
2 editors in one
Yeah.
package is that we can bounce it off each other and like this doesn't sound. Did I have a stroke while I was reading this? And she's like, no, it's off.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, wait, did I read this with the wrong inflection? Like,
Well-
do we need like punctuation? Like, why is this wrong? Be like, because it's the wrong word.
In my defense, I'm talking to myself, right? I'm pretending to be one person talking to another person talking.
Exactly. Like you're trying to go back and forth, and after a while, you're just like, who's saying what now? Like,
Right.
and like
Okay.
we've gotten other people's scripts where they were like going back and forth with the word bubbles, and then they unintentionally switched who was talking because they had one person say something and then they said something again, but they switched it in the script, and I'm like, I think this is wrong because
Didn't we have? Was it that one or have we also had one where they did it on purpose, like where you're having a fast back and forth and then they switch it up like in a cartoon, and the other person ends up arguing your argument for you, and you're like, yay, I win.
Yes. Thank you for saying what I was already saying.
Yeah, it's
But
just yeah.
That happens with the letterer too. Like even though you're writing in your scripts who's saying the dialogue, sometimes they confuse the 2 characters and they'll invert the lettering bubbles. I had that.
Yeah.
A couple
Oh, yeah.
No, switch those around. You have the wrong person saying that. So yeah.
Well, and it especially when you're going back and forth like that, it can get so confusing. So it's really fun to see that all of that, the whole process just come together, because there's so many different ways these stories can go. So
Yeah.
I know we're deep into the serious talk, but I have to interject one thing, and I apologize. Chris, this is a very dangerous line to go down, especially with this.
there will be no full mullet.
Oh, he's talking about the wig. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why, but my brain didn't acknowledge the fact that you were wearing a wig, and I just flashed back to that guy that I had to ban who was insulting your new haircut. And
Oh yeah.
okay,
He
so
was great.
retract. I retract.
I love it when trolls come on the internet and they're like, "Wow, your hair looks stupid," and you're like, "Wow, you had nothing better to do."
Yeah,
to
Shae was
come
like,
into my
"Thanks for
channel
sharing."
to talk shit about me. That's cool. Like, do you need a hug? Like, is your life okay?
Yeah. Then he came actually on the stream because it was open mic, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Yeah, I did this and that," and I look at his channel and he's got like 150 subs. I'm like, "Yeah, you're doing the heavy lifting there, bud." And then he's like, "Well, if people don't like what I'm saying, hair and just boot me," and I'm like, "Okay, Ben."
There wasn't even an opportunity to respond to him. Sai was finger over the ban button. Just waiting,
From the
and
moment
like,
he joined, my finger was on the actual button in
he's like, if
StreamYard,
you don't,
so.
you might as well just
Negative
ban me now.
energy.
And so I was like, boom, instant. And I was like, oh, okay.
We aims to please here.
I found that as well. Like even navigating this community, I've sort of navigated more to just the creators who are more passionate and creative and more concerned about with what they're doing and having fun and enjoying what they're doing. And you do pick and choose. And I just navigate towards those people. And I'm having more fun doing this. I mean, I was on Twitter. That's another thing too, is having to sort of move from how you were before and explain to people you're not always the same way. Back in like 2018, 2019, 2020, I was very angry. That's kind of what drove the passion to create, right? I was very upset with the world, very upset with what happened to my franchises, very upset with what happened to Star Wars. But rather than channeling that energy to lashing out in the internet or attacking people or going after Star Wars actors, like all the ridiculous stuff, I just said, you know what? If I think I can do better, I'll do my best to do it better. And then I'm just going to tell the story I want a story and channel that energy in a positive way as opposed to being a negative force out there. So yeah, once I started doing that and making this book and having fun, I wish, like, there's a lot of people obviously who saw the 2018-19 me, well, this guy's really bitter, angry person. I'm not really that person anymore. I'm just loving life right now, having a good time.
Well, and anyone who thinks that that's probably like bullshit, I'm just gonna put this out there. I've known Mad Ruth on Twitter for years and years, and we have talked about the military side of things. We talked about the things that piss us off. We talked about what's going on in comics and storytelling and all of that. And the Mad Ruth that I first met and the Mad Ruth that I know now are different people. The Mad Ruth initially was a little extra feisty, and there was a whole lot of times where I was like,
Okay.
"Bud, I love you, but I need to like take a minute away from you."
You started angry, Mad Ruth,
Mhm.
and now the mad, instead of meaning angry, just means a little crazy, and that's
Yeah.
it.
Instead, the Mad changed from angry to crazy.
Exactly.
It's perfect. Like now you're 100% our kind of people because we're all a
Yeah.
little fucking nuts.
Right.
Oh my God, Crooked Painter! I am not highlighting that.
Oh, that's terrible. Yep. Nope. Listen, Chris, I'm not even reading it out loud. But
So
you're
we
not
already
wrong.
did our hellos. So let me just jump in here with hello to Silver, hello to Luke, hello to Crooked Painter, hello to Shadowhawk Talk.
We also, there's two that you've missed. So we had Broken Compass Entertainment. We had Shelby. I don't know if you saw that Shelby.
Oh yeah,
popped in.
Shelby.
Nice.
Yep. So
Yeah,
thank
he's
you guys
listening
for,
to us while he finishes up more boob socks for the RV art auction, which is
yes,
in
the
2
art
weeks or
auction
so.
that is 2 weekends away.
By the
Well-
way, that shiny metal top, I gotta say, looks great. You gotta wear that at a con. I like the lines on it. I usually don't, but I actually like those. Looks neat.
I drew them. I'm glad that you like them because they
You
were
drew those?
painstaking. Yes, I drew them with
Holy
one eye. I
shit.
didn't have depth perception.
That's what you were doing? That looks so
That's
good.
what I was doing. It was taking forever.
Did you use a ruler?
No.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Okay, so we're getting a bodysuit like that for me, but one that breathes. And I'm gonna have you draw like circuitry lines and stuff like that, and then I'll layer other stuff on top of it with remember the stuff that I had gotten for that cosplay we were gonna do at New York Comic Con.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you want me to go insane, is what you're saying?
Sure.
Understood. Okay.
Sure. Why not?
Well,
You
I
can
am
use UV
so-
ink. It'll be awesome.
stop it. I'm so
No.
happy that we were able to get you on, especially because it's so much fun because it's like the anniversary.
Yes,
The
1 year.
anniversary of the launch of SOLTAC, and we're celebrating by talking about issue 4, which is fucking
1 year
nuts.
later, I've made all these books. Like, look at that. 1 year.
Look at
I did
that.
all that. Accomplished all that. Yeah. We did
That's
it
so
together.
amazing.
So
Absolutely. And I feel like we've been on this journey with you. It's wonderful.
Yeah, and it's not like when you're young and you do it together and you have regrets after the fact. It's this was a fruitful relationship.
yes.
Sai, you
It-
always gotta
it
make
is
it
bearing
fucking
fruit.
weird. You have
Thanks.
always gotta make it weird.
That's my fucking job. Have you not figured that out yet?
It's horrible. Is there anything that you want to let people know before we wrap up?
No, again, just reminding everyone that there are other creators out here listening and they're looking for channels. Hit me up,
Yeah.
or again, invite them to hit me up. I have my show every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
And again, if anyone's interested in this book, it comes out March. Like I'll fulfill it March of next year. So there's time between now and then to go over to Fund My Comic and pick up all 4 issues of SOLTAC for $30. And so
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
please do support independent creators.
Shae, do we have a link to Mad Ruth's channel in the description, or could one of our
No.
lovely
No.
wrenches throw that into the chat, please? The other thing that I was going to say, since I know you weren't going to ask me if I had anything else to throw out, because I almost never do. 1, back this project. 2, follow Mad Ruth everywhere, because he's a really awesome guy with some really fantastic ideas. Sorry, my eyes are drifting over to the chat, and I'm seeing Phantasmagorical. So it's kind of fucking with my ability to say fantastic without the rest. So those 2 things. Also, this isn't a real announcement. It's kind of piggybacking off last night when we had a very not smooth stream.
There's a rough stream last night. It's fine.
To just say, so a little mini announcement. It is coming up on our 4-year channelversary. We are going to have a short story horror themed contest. So write your asses off, because you only have a few weeks to get those into us. We haven't decided on a firm deadline yet, but obviously October only lasts so long. So think about having them ready 20th, maybe not much past that. Also, we're going to be doing some giveaways for our channelversary. We're still sorting through what materials we're going to have to give away, just to be fair and upfront about this. These are going to be comics that we have multiple copies of. So basically, things that Shae's backed or gotten sent, where she has a copy for her, she has a copy for me, and we just have extra.
And then I have 5 more copies because I forgot I backed it.
Maybe they all, it could be that, or it came in a multi-pack, and we picked our 2 favorite covers, and we want to be able to share that with our members. So keep that in mind as well. That is coming up. We are going to work on getting those items nailed down in the next week. So expect to hear from us in the next regen cycle on Friday.
Yes. Will be great.
And that's it. Lots of fun stuff coming up. Oh.
Yes.
And tomorrow.
Oh,
Go
right.
ahead.
So tomorrow, we're starting a new show. We're launching a new show. I already forgot the name of it, Cy. No, I didn't. Shae and Cy's Fringe Benefits. That's what it is. And
Nice.
Basically, it's going to be all the shit that Shae or Cy finds interesting. We're going to do interviews with various creators and things like that. Tomorrow we have Keep Flying On, which is a really great ska band. And they're super sweet and really interesting. So we're going to.
And they opened
bring
up
them
for
on.
a concert that Shae was lucky enough to go to in Baltimore.
I went to a Save Ferris concert, and they were the opener.
And they were the
It was
opener.
amazing.
Yep.
Yeah. So we will have.
I'll always love the
Keep Flying On,
specials.
so-
I'm a big specials fan.
Shelby is once again trying to insist on a name for tomorrow's show.
I'm not doing avocado toast. Damn it.
Hello, Marco.
Hello, Marco. All right. We are going to wrap this up with the amazing trailer that Mad Ruth has on his campaign that is from Good Stuff. So if
We have been assured is copyright free. Yeah.
If we get struck, we're all coming after Good Stuff.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for joining. Please do not forget to go and back this on Fund My Comic. I promise it is such a worthwhile venture. You are going to love this story. It is so much fun. And we will see you guys. We will see you guys very, very shortly. Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.